A very cheerful good evening, everyone. I welcome you all for today's interview. So, here we are with our chief guest, Miss P. Rama Devi Garu. She is a senior psychologist. She did her MA, MSc, and postgraduate in counseling and guidance. So, I heartily welcome you, ma'am, for
Thank
today's
you.
interview. Our today's interview is regarding morality is freedom. So, it is a 1 month campaign on September 2024 organized by Jamaat Islami Hind Women's Wing. So let's start our interview. So my first question is, in what ways do moral principles influence the choices we make? Do you believe that following these principles enhances or limits personal freedom?
A very good evening to the audience first. See morals. What does moral actually mean? See, everybody has their own morals basing on their brought up. So, which are learned from their parents or the family or the neighbors and everything. So, which indicates that moral is identifying what is right and what is wrong. Moral depends on the cultures as well. So, what we follow in the morals help us in distinguishing between right and wrong, which which helps us in taking decisions basing on the which is correct and which is not correct. So that helps in morals are very much required for individual freedom. So freedom doesn't mean that whatever we can do it. So there is a difference between freedom and independence. Freedom is not becoming caged, like imprisoned or anything, leading a free life. But independence is doing the things which you feel correct and which you don't need any permissions from anyone. So there is a difference between independence and freedom. So freedom doesn't mean that you can hurt anyone. So you have your own limitations, that you can do anything whatever you like, you can eat whatever you like, you can go wherever you want, as long as you don't hurt anyone. So that is most important thing, and it also influences how we interact with others, how we treat others, and how we empathize the pain of the others. So morals are influence our behavior, our attitudes, and the way we look at the people. And it improves our self-worth. We feel when we are following the morals, we feel that okay, I am doing good. So wherever I go, I can do good, I can be good. So that makes us feel that I am a self-worth person. That means I'm able to do everything. A sense of self. It creates a sense of self-worth because we are honest with ourselves first.
Yeah.
So that's how it helps, and these morals also change over the time.
Yeah.
Because in olden days, morals were different because there was no interaction with the outside world. The interaction was less. So people, the parents used to say that okay, you have to obey parents. But now, children asking why, because of the Gen Zs or Alpha Gens, they uh, rely more on the logic rather than just believing blindly.
Yes.
So that is also very important, and it influences our cognitive and emotional behavior. So if you are doing, I'll give you just a simple example. Freedom means whatever we want to do it, whatever we like to do it. That means if I want to eat a pani puri, I just go and eat it. But our moral says that the pani puri vehicle is behind the drainage, is nearby drainage, and it says that okay, we should not eat that in unhygienic way. So that is where the moral applies, in which we can influence or implement our behaviors. So morals, there are many different morals. So it all depends on how we cultivate from the childhood and we implement in our future.
So very good explanation, ma'am. So my next question is, do you think that a society with a strong moral framework, it is better at safeguarding individual freedom? Why and why not?
It is so, but there are certain limitations as well. As I said, with every culture, moral changes. So values changes, ethics changes, and so there is a slight difference between morals, ethics, and values. So values are individual beliefs. Morals, which define what is right and wrong. Ethics is a system that implemented in that particular area, like work ethics, home ethics, or eating, meeting ethics. So it all depends in different places, it changes. So when we talk about the morals, it is only talking about what is right and what is wrong. So what we can do is, if everyone has morals, when it changes with the cultures, what is right for you may not be right for me, and what is right for me may not be right for you. So there will be always a conflict between which one to follow. Okay, so if you are living in one such community, if you are living in only single community, you follow all the same one. But if you go out, or if you go to some other place or anything, if you say that, okay, I don't want to follow this, so which is not acceptable in other places, then you have to change your morals, which you may not accept it internally. So we have to change ourselves according to the situations, according to the places where we are living, so that we can make a better place. But overall, hurting others, as long as we don't hurt others, we don't insult others, we don't blame others for our actions, we are good.
Yeah. Okay. It was good, ma'am. So my next question is, what strategies or approaches can be followed to cultivate a society that upholds both moral integrity along with individual freedom? Can you provide any examples on this?
So integrity, what does integrity mean? So what we say, we preach. So that means if I say that I don't like something, so behind the screen also I should not do that.
Yeah.
So what we profess and what we follow, there should be congruence within that. So that means when integrity is widely used in praising, evaluating and remembering and recommending people. So individual integrity depends on the beliefs, what they believe strongly. So that means they have to follow throughout their life, irrespective of the place, irrespective of the people where they are living around. Then the individuality, the freedom will be affected a little. So when you have more of morals, the freedom is also a little limited. As I said, if suppose a patient comes with a heart attack or anything, so the moral of the doctor says that I need to treat him immediately, but the rules of the hospital says that first we have to examine, then we have to admit, or any other thing. So then there is a conflict there.
Yeah.
So his limitations will reduce. His limitations of freedom will be reduced. Right? There is a limitation. So it impacts the morals and the integrity or the freedom. Everything impacts with the way we follow the morals, basing on the circumstances. So one has to be a role model. One has to follow the ethics and what you believe in. That means whatever beliefs you have, the core beliefs, you have to believing, and you should not change it irrespective of the places where you go, where you are living with. Surround the people with the people who have the integrity. So strengthen your self-efficiency, strengthen your motivation, self-motivation, then create imaginative thinking. All these help us in developing our integrity. So personal integrity means there should be a coherence and consistency between what you profess and what you follow. So that is more important in practicing the integrity. So people always say that I'm integral. Integral doesn't mean that if I say I don't like people drinking, and if any of my family members is having that habit, and if I live with them, so that doesn't mean that I'm following the integrity there, because I had to hate that person whom I'm living with. So that's how the impacts the people where we are living around. So the society where we are living around. As I said, morals, ethics, everything changes over time, everything changes with the cultures, everything changes with the places where we are living in, and the way we are brought up. So you have to be a role model first. Follow what you are preaching.
Yeah, that was a very good explanation, ma'am. So my last question is, how do values such as empathy, honesty, and responsibility support the idea of individual freedom?
So we are accountable for whatever actions or inactions we do, it, be it good or bad. So empathy means we are understanding the pain of others, being in their shoes. Honesty, as everyone knows, being sincere with yourself and with the people, not cheating on with anyone. So all these are responsible for individual freedom.
Yeah.
See, suppose you are walking on a road, someone has fallen down suddenly. So we empathize and we immediately, I mean, like we do show the pro-social behavior and we just try to help them out. And some people doesn't really go out. I mean, doesn't really bother about the person and they just move on. So people may not empathize with that person who has fallen down. So when you are following certain principles, you have to be honest in explaining others, following what are the principles. That is the honesty.
Yeah.
So it is that honesty is the best policy.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really good to have you here.
Thank you.
so
Thank
much
you for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for your valuable time. With this, we come to the interview here. Thank you so much.